Hello and welcome to Comparative and Functional Vertebrate Anatomy. At this point, you should have already had a look over the syllabus and read through it. If you have not done that at this point, go ahead and stop this video and take a look at it. Make sure that you've got a general idea of how the class is going to be run before we go into the details. Many of you may have noticed after having read the syllabus that this class is going to be run in a very different way from most, if not all, of the other classes you've taken as a college student. And so in this web lecture, I'd like to explain a little bit more about what we're doing and why we're doing it, what this whole a la carte learning methodology is all about, and what are the reasons why we're using this method. A la carte learning resembles in many ways an a la carte menu in which for each course you've got a list of options that you can choose from and you can put together your own meal using whatever elements sound good to you and sound appealing. So this is basically what we're going to do here. Why do we do this? So this puts you in control of your own learning. You can choose the activities that you think will best help you engage with the material and keep you interested in it. This also ultimately puts you in control of the grade you receive. Every activity you do earns you points toward your grade, and the pace of accumulating points and how many points you accumulate over the course of the semester is completely up to you. So this gives you some flexibility. If you have a heavy exam week one week, maybe you can do a little bit less and make up for it by doing it a little bit more in the next week. You set the pace, you're in control. This is based on recognizing the fact that no one learning activity works great for all learners. Everybody has their own way of approaching material, their own particular aspects of it that they struggle with, so this allows you to tailor your learning to how you learn best. And it also gives you an opportunity to discover how you learn best. So many times I get students in my office saying, I don't know why I did so badly on this exam. I read and reread and reread the book. I reread the lecture notes. I kept looking at things over and over again. I don't know what else to do. So in this class, you're going to learn lots and lots of other things to do to help you learn the material in more effective ways than just taking things in repeatedly. So much of this approach is based on motivation theory. So we know that there are sort of two different kinds of motivation: extrinsic motivation, in which you do something to receive a reward, and intrinsic motivation. You're motivated to do something because you really feel like it's worth doing. And so in college, obviously, we have the extrinsic motivation of the grades and earning points, and I think of that as the motivation that kind of gets you moving in the first place. But what's really going to get you engaging and learning this material in a very deep way is your intrinsic motivation, which is what the format of this course is designed to enhance. So these four elements of intrinsic motivation that we're going to be using this semester are, first of all, relationships. Within the class structure, you're going to be working in groups a lot. In lab, you're going to be working with a lab partner. Those people are going to be relying on you to be prepared, to be a valuable contributor to whatever problem-solving activity we're doing that day. And part of your motivation is going to be the relationships you build with those people in class and not wanting to let them down. Autonomy is a huge one in this class. That basically is the idea that you decide what to do, how much, with whom, and how you're going to go about whatever activity you're engaging with. So this class is full of choice. This class is full of opportunity. This class is full of forgiveness. If you do not so well on something, there are always opportunities to recover and build your grade back up from wherever it is. Another component of this is mastery, and this has to do with your perception that this is something you can accomplish. You can work hard toward this, that you have a reasonable expectation for being successful, both at individual tasks and at being successful in the course. So this course design is set up to give you tasks that you can choose based on your expectations for success, your expectations for being able to actually master that task. And then the last element of motivation is your sense of purpose. So how much do you feel like this work is going to benefit you? How much are you interested in it? Do you have your own individual purpose for wanting to do that? And that's another reason for being able to pick and choose different activities that are going to target different things that you may be more interested in, and you can decide what you want to learn more about, what you want to work a little bit more on, driven by your own purpose in taking this course. So let's take a look at the learning plan, and this is based on countless studies of the neuroscience of learning and classroom practices, and it all begins down here at the bottom with preparation. So as you saw in the syllabus, the content of this course is going to be delivered online. I will give you lots of sort of setup and debriefing explanations. I'll be working with you one-on-one in class as we go. So I will be sort of coaching you in class, but in terms of finding out the basic information for the course, that's going to be something that you do ahead of time. And it is the foundation of everything that's going to come after this. If you do not do this preparation, you're not going to get the benefit from all of the rest of the things that go on in this sequence. So preparation is the bedrock. That's going to lead up to participation. This is what we do in class, the activities that we do, the problems that we solve, and you're going to learn the most from these activities, the better prepared you are. The more you come in with the basic information is going to help you with your problem solving and help you to use this problem solving to solidify that basic content information and help to seal it. So this is going to help you with your understanding, but this understanding is fragile. If that was all you did, you would understand it for a little while, maybe for long enough to answer an exam question, but you need to reinforce that understanding, and that's where practice comes into play. And so I'm going to give you lots of opportunities after you've worked on an idea in class to go back and get some practice and reinforce that understanding. We like to say practice makes perfect. That's only partially accurate. Practice makes permanent. The more you practice, the more you reinforce those neural connections that are going to bring that understanding into long-term memory. So you need to practice to make this understanding permanent. The next stage is performance. This is where you show me the benefits of all of these other activities that you've done, in other words, exams. And so on the syllabus, you will have seen that we do exams in a little bit different way than you're probably used to, so make sure you take a look at that. The exams are designed both as an assessment and also an opportunity for further learning, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And then finally, the last stage is called polishing. What does this mean? This means that these are going to be opportunities for you to reflect on the learning activities that you've chosen leading up to that point. Think about what you might want to change, what you're still struggling with a little bit, what different activities you might want to do going ahead to improve that performance next time around. So this is the basic learning plan, and that polishing is going to inform how you prepare and how you go into this next cycle. So this is the basic learning plan that we're going to be working with. And so within that learning plan, we've got this whole a la carte learning menu. So lots and lots of different options for engaging in these different kinds of activities: preparation, participation, practice. Laboratory is going to be a little bit more structured, a little bit more like other labs you've had, but also very open-ended and giving you a lot of opportunity to do things in your own way. A whole category of community building activities to build that relational part of the motivation, performance, and then post-exam reflection, the polishing. And so lots of different things to choose from in this a la carte learning menu. So let me just quickly walk you through the setup and the organization of the course website to show you how to find all these activities and how to figure out what you want to work on. So first of all, the grading specifications for all of these activities, these are the specific instructions, the requirements for each activity are all categorized and organized for you here. So you've got grading specifications for preparation, activities, participation, practice, community, performance, polishing, and then a reminder that if you have some other learning activity that you already do, let me know and we will see if we can add that to the a la carte menu. And so going into any of these folders, you'll see a list of all of the list of specifications that you are going to be evaluated on for that particular activity. So to find the actual activities available for any particular week, you're going to go into this tab here, Activities by Week, and this is where you'll find the course schedule, the list of topics. All of the exams are listed here with these folders. And so if we go into the Week 1 folder, the first thing that you'll always see is all of the content material for the week: readings, web lectures, videos. There will be required ones and recommended ones. And then as you scroll down, you're going to see sort of a mind-boggling array of so-called assignments. Don't think of them as assignments because none of these are required. So you're going to see a lot of things with the same deadline, and if you're the kind of student who likes to do all of the work in a class, you may be throwing up in your mouth a little bit at this point. Don't. So the most important thing, and I cannot emphasize this strongly enough, do not try to do all of these activities. You will drive yourself crazy. It's not possible to do it. So what you want to do is do some organization, some preparation, some thinking ahead in advance to figure out a schedule of the different activities you want to do each week. So they're all available here. If you see an underline, that's an assignment that you're going to turn in through Blackboard. Generally, just cladograms and concept maps will be turned in on paper in class. Pretty much everything else will be turned in through Blackboard using the Safe Assign technology to check for plagiarism. And so you're going to choose specific activities to do each week. So let me give you an example of how you might organize your work for a week. So basically what you want to aim for is sort of a balanced diet of these different kinds of activities: preparation, participation, and practice. And make sure that you're doing at least one of those activities each week. So the grading scale is based on preparing for each class, so that means either doing the one written preparation assignment that's going to cover the full week's worth of material. So if you've done that one written prep assignment, that's your prep for the whole week. You're done for the week, and that'll be worth, I've got 12 points here. I now have it up to 14 points if you respond to any peer response that a fellow student has given you. In general, there will be maybe about 15 points worth of clicker questions in a week, 18 points worth of written participation in a week, and then I highly recommend every week doing the quiz. The quiz questions are actually sample exam questions, so it's a very good self-assessment tool to be able to gauge how well you're doing with the material at this point. I suggest you do that the very last thing every week. And then in addition, one practice type activity, such as the peer response, which is going to be worth about 10 points, and that'll get you up to your 60-point goal for sort of weekly homework and in-class points. Your lab points will be on top of that. Your exam points will be on top of that. Post-exam reflections will be on top of this. This is sort of the week-by-week work that you'll do for the lecture part of the class. So as another option, plan 2, maybe you don't want to work that far ahead. You don't have the time to do the whole written prep assignment before the start of the week's material. So maybe you want to do the day-by-day preparation. So in that case, you'd want to do maybe 2 concept maps and turn them in each class day for your 12 points of preparation. Maybe 2 cladograms, some combination of the 2. There's also terminology study and transcribing your lecture notes, any combination of those shooting for maybe about 12 points, and making sure that you're doing some form of preparation that covers the material for each class day. Again, clickers and written participation are expected every week from everybody being in class and doing the activities, so that will get you those points. And maybe this week, rather than revisiting the material from the prep assignment, maybe you want to do an assignment. There will be a variety of different kinds of assignments, from problem sets to maybe reading a scientific paper and responding to it. And then I always recommend every week doing the weekly quiz to assess where you are. So remember, if you fall short on clicker questions on any given week, if you get one wrong or 2 wrong, there are all of those little easy 1-point community activities that you can do. Make a post to the Facebook group, post a question to the general discussion board, lots of options for making up those missed points. Another question I commonly get about this format is about grading. How will all of this work be graded? So I use a grading methodology called specification grading, which basically is that I give you that list of specifications that I showed you in the course website, and if you meet all of those specifications, you get full points. If you do not meet all of the specifications, you get no points. So make sure that you're looking at that list, following instructions precisely, especially details like for written assignments that have a word limit. Make sure you're not copying and pasting the questions into your submission. Make sure you're not using headers or any additional words that are going to muddy that word count. Make it easy for me to check, look through, make sure that you're taking the assignment seriously, and you will get full points for that assignment. One thing to make note of is that these exams are really worth a lot of points. These are great opportunities for you to pick up a lot of points very quickly. And so when you're doing these day-to-day activities for points, I'll be honest, it is going to be a lot of work. There's going to be a lot of work involved with this class. There's going to be a temptation to just sort of crank things out to get the points and not really engage with the material. Where this is going to come back and bite you is you're not going to be as well prepared for the exams. You're not going to pick up these points that will be really easy to grab if you have not just done these assignments but really used these assignments as learning opportunities. So I really encourage you to take the time to do this work carefully, even though you're not being graded on accuracy, to really do your best to really engage with this material. So when it comes down to preparing for these exams, really all you're going to have to do is a quick review. You've already got the understanding, you've already done the hard work of integrating all of this information, and it'll just be a quick review to prepare you for the exam, and you'll be able to scoop up the big points on the exams. The other thing to note about this large number of points for the exams is, although technically the exams are not required, it would take a lot of these little small assignments to make up the number of points that are available on an exam. So I encourage you to please make sure that you take every exam and take advantage of this large number of points that's available. So this course is probably going to ask more of you than other courses that you've taken. But the other side of that is that you are going to get a lot more out of it. So let me just be explicit about what is going to be required and what you are going to get in return. So what I require from you: do all the required reading and viewing before class. Make sure you're coming to class prepared and ready to fully engage with the activities that we do in class. Make your best effort to fully engage in all of these learning opportunities provided by the class. Don't just sort of sleepwalk through the activities. Don't wait to listen to the answers that the other groups are giving. Don't wait to listen to my explanation. Really make your best effort to engage. Bring your notes that you've taken from the source material. Really dig into these activities, both inside and outside of class, to get the most out of it. Have an open attitude. I know this is unusual for most of you, and it's going to be a little bit disconcerting, but give the process a chance to work. Make sure that you have an open mind and an open attitude, and give it a chance. Finally, respect your own learning process and that of your classmates. Make sure that you are doing everything you can to get as much out of this class as you possibly can, and do it in a way that facilitates the learning of both yourself and of your classmates. What you can expect from me in return: if you do all of these things, everything will be okay. It's going to seem overwhelming. It's going to seem like a lot of material. Some of it will be very complicated. No matter how overwhelming or difficult it may seem, if you follow all of these steps, if you do what I'm encouraging you to do, your grade will fall into place. And this is based on years of experience of teaching in this way. The amount of effort you put in is reflected in the grade you get out. You will have opportunities to learn and recover from mistakes. A bad exam score does not have to kill your grade in this class. You can always make up for it, and you can always have a second chance to learn something that maybe you didn't quite grasp completely the first time around. This is going to be an iterative process of building on your learning, and there are always going to be opportunities to revisit ideas. Learn from your mistakes, because learning does not happen without making mistakes. You never learn anything by getting it right the first time. Where you learn is by figuring out what it is about that you're not understanding, making mistakes, and then figuring out how to fix them. The third thing is I and your lab instructor together, we will do everything possible to help you succeed. We're going to provide lots of opportunities. We're going to support you in any possible way that we can to help you to learn and get the grade that you want out of this class. And finally, this whole class is based on community, on teamwork, and on respect. So you can expect both me and your lab instructor to treat you with all the respect you deserve as the very capable learners that we know that you all are. Everybody can learn from this class, and that will be in proportion to the amount of effort that you put into it. So it works if you work it, and we're there to help you and to respect your learning process. So thank you very much, and I look forward to a very exciting and productive semester.